My mother-in-law called a family meeting. She looked around the room and said, "I don't think Emily should be invited to family events anymore." Room went completely silent. Then my husband's oldest cousin slowly raised his hand. Another cousin followed, then my mother-in-law's sister, one by one. Almost everyone raised their hands, even people I had spent years cooking for, buying birthday gifts for, and helping whenever they needed something. I looked at my husband, Daniel. His face showed disbelief. He opened his mouth as if he wanted to speak, but before he could, his mother interrupted. "Daniel, this is a family decision." He lowered his eyes. I realized no one was going to defend me, so I stood up. I smiled politely. I thanked everyone for being honest. Then I picked up my purse and quietly walked out. I didn't argue, I didn't cry. I didn't even look back. I drove home wondering how 6 years of trying to become part of this family could disappear in a single afternoon. My name is Emily. I've been married to Daniel for 6 years. When we first got married, I honestly believed his mother, Linda, simply needed time to accept me. So I tried everything. I never missed birthdays. I hosted Thanksgiving dinners. I baked cakes for family celebrations. When Linda had surgery, I drove her to every follow-up appointment. When Daniel's cousin lost his job, I helped him rewrite his resume. When his aunt needed temporary financial help with medical bills, I quietly arranged assistance through a family trust without anyone knowing where it came from. I never expected praise. I simply believed kindness would eventually change her opinion. It never did. If dinner tasted good, she said I had probably copied the recipe. If I decorated the house, she criticized the colors. If I stayed quiet, I was rude. If I shared my opinion, I was disrespectful. Eventually. Her version of me became everyone's version. One Sunday afternoon, she invited the entire family over. Halfway through lunch, she stood up and announced, "This family has been divided because of Emily. I think only people who truly belong here should attend future family gatherings." Then she asked everyone to vote. Watching those hands rise one after another hurt more than I can explain. But I refused to beg for a seat at any table where I wasn't wanted. What none of them knew was that my late grandfather had built one of the most respected law firms in our state. Before he passed away, he created a private family trust. The trust wasn't designed to make people rich. It existed to quietly help families during difficult times, medical emergencies, college tuition, business loans, unexpected hardships. For years, several members of Daniel's family had unknowingly benefited from it. Grandpa believed generosity worked best when nobody knew where it came from. After his passing, I became the new trustee 1 week after the family vote. Every adult family member received a certified envelope from Grandpa's law firm. Inside wasn't a threat, it wasn't a lawsuit. It was simply an official notice explaining that the trust now had a new administrator. All future requests for financial assistance would now require my personal review before approval. Nothing more, nothing less. No benefits were cancelled. No money was taken away. The only difference was that I would now personally evaluate every request. The phone calls started that evening. Daniel's uncle asked if the letter was real. His cousin wanted to know whether scholarship applications would still be accepted. Linda called Daniel 3 times. He didn't answer. 2 days later, someone knocked on my front door. When I opened it, Linda was standing there alone for the first time in 6 years. She wasn't wearing her usual confident smile. She looked nervous. She quietly said, "May I come in?" We sat at the kitchen table. For several minutes, neither of us spoke. Finally, she looked at me and said, "I judged you before I ever gave you a chance. Kept telling everyone a story about you that wasn't fair. I thought if they believed it, maybe I would too." She apologized for every family dinner, every sarcastic comment, every unfair judgment. I listened without interrupting. When she finished, I simply smiled. Then I told her something I'd spent years wanting to say. Respect isn't something people discover after they need you. It's something they choose to give before they know what you can offer. She lowered her head. "I understand that now," she whispered. "Today, I still attend family gatherings. The atmosphere is very different. Nobody votes anymore. Nobody whispers when I walk into the room, not because I became more valuable, but because they finally realize something much more important. Kindness should never depend on whether someone has something you might need one day. Real family starts with respect. Everything else comes after."